Welcome to DCR Rails, and by extension my garage, where I am building the tabletop layout, and I have got the elevations and the tracks and the cars and that all worked out. So now what I need to do is take this tabletop and add the foam board to the top of it, and I got a section out here in the middle that needs to be raised for a raised section of the layout. So I've got some cutting and some more construction to do, and then attach the foam and then relay my outer link, which is the Kato track, on the outer oval, and then we'll look more into what we need to do. So let's get started by tearing everything off the top of the layout now, so I can pull the wood and cut it and do what we need to do. So I'm back to the blank canvas. Now what I did to lay this out is I measured 6 inches in and 6 inches in, because that's 6 and 6 is a foot. That'd be 1 foot, and then that's 4 foot between the two marks. And then down the back side there I got the tape marking off every foot. So between that stripe and this stripe, this is the 8 foot. So the 8x4 is in the middle, which the layout needs, and then the extra foot, 6 inches on either side, gives me my outer loop. But I've got to go in and do some reinforcement because the board is not quite squared up here, and it might make it there. Alright, so I have pulled the tape off, and I've pulled the boards off, so I'm back down to the skeleton here on the benchwork. But here's the problem that I've got. This board here didn't stay straight. It's kind of warped a little bit. So I'm going to take a measurement between here and here and maybe push that in a little bit. But I'm going to put a second board right up against this and a second board right up against this. And then I'll have the support for the short way, and then I'll put some cross joists across here to support this flimsy board, because if I put this, there's the cross brace to help hold it up, and I've got a few more ideas on what to do, but we'll put that cross brace in, and then we'll bring the cover over it with the cutout for the raised section. So now I've got this put down. Right here I can raise up to put the riser. And I can put some risers here and over on the other end there for the part to raise up. So it's quasi open bench work. It's not full open bench work, but most of it is going to be on this, and I've got the one rise section. And I've decided, instead of trying to cut out and build the risers around, I'm going to go ahead and get the Woodland Scenics risers, and that for the rise on the grade for the train. So I'm going to do the Woodland Scenic for the grades, and I think that'll work out better. It'll be flat, it'll be more secure, and such. So next thing we'll do is I've got to put the foam down and then measure what that distance is, because from there up I need the 4 inches for the height of this section here for the foundry and the coal mine. Well, my carpentry skills for rough carpentry are okay, but for finer, there's a little bit of room there. Apparently, either the foam, I'm going to go with the foam is not square, because this is the square on the wood, but the extruded insulation, it comes along and then it's flush up against it, and then it starts to slide back down. So the insulation is not square. So I'm going to take my pencil and draw a line right there, and then pull out my saw and cut that so that is flush up with it, and then I'll figure out what to do from there. And I'll put my risers in so I can put the top part on there. That turned out a whole lot better. A little bit rough there. I'll have to take care of a little bit of that, but that squares it up nicely. And now we can put the raised section in right over here. Okay, here's where some calculations are going to come in. So that's 1 inch from the bottom of this to here, and since I'm going to have the same thing up top, that'll be 1 inch there. So if I make a board that runs 6 inches and I bring this down here so it's at 2, so 1, 2, so that'd be 3 inches if I have 2 inches below. Then I got the inch for here, and then I've got another 3 inches, 1, 2, 3. That'll give me 4 inches total, because I'll have an inch above that. So if I cut 6-inch legs, I can screw the top of this down to the legs, and from this foam to the top of that foam will be 4 inches. 2 inches, that leaves me with 4. So I've got this board here to run across, and I'm going to put it right here on the top of this and square this up, drill a hole, And then 2 pilot holes for this below. And do the same thing on the other side. And we'll get this screwed together real quick. Excuse the hand. And then I'll screw that into the benchwork, and this will be the raised part, and I can lay the other piece on that, and I'll have my raised section of the benchwork. So there's my line. I got it lined up with the edge of the board, and that brings it up here and down there. So when I put the top on, I'll have my 4 inches from the foam to the top of the other foam. So there's the work inside. That won't be seen, but here it is in place. So I've got the base in place and I've put the top on it. So now let's see if I've got my 4 inches from the foam to the top of the other foam. This will be the test. There it is, 4 inches. So it worked. I'll secure that after I get things painted. But so this section is now raised up. So it's kind of open benchwork, but not really. But the advantage of this is I can run track up under here and drill holes to isolate the electrical output on the tracks. And I have this raised section of the layout, and I can build the things around it to go, and I can add stuff on top of it. But I can do the wiring and things without having to go through this top part here and then figure out how to go all the way down to this if I had built it all the way up. So with this open space, I can get right up underneath it and do some things. So there's the layout, what it's looking like. More to do yet, but I think we'll call this good right here. So if you enjoyed what you saw, hit the like button. I'd love a subscriber or two, and return back here in a bit and I'll have some more for you in building this tabletop layout. Until later, keep on chugging along.